Tim are both students at IUPUI. We are construction management students, and we're graduating this fall, right?
Yeah, December.
Man, in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
So
Are you excited?
I'm ready. I think I'm ready to get out there. What about you?
Oh, dude, I'm ready to get out of here.
Oh man, me too. So just to give you a little background on us, I've got a bunch of years of experience in construction. I work a lot of heavy civil highway jobs. I currently am employed with Milestone Contractors, and they decided to keep me around after graduation.
Good stuff. Yeah. So along with Mitch, I've been in the industry for quite some time now, mainly on the residential side, but I have multiple experiences on different jobs, and I think the experience that I have can really help explain why safety is important in the construction industry. Hey guys, so Mitch and I are going to keep going on with our presentation here on why safety is important. So why is safety important to you? So for me, that means that there's lots of different things at a construction site that goes on every day. We're around heavy equipment, we're around hand tools, we're up on really high elevations and stuff like that, around vehicles and around heavy objects. So there's so many different safety aspects in every construction site. We just need to make sure that we're understanding why it's important that we keep everybody safely around the job site. So a couple of reasons why safety is important. Number one is for human lives. So the number one priority on the job site is to keep your workers safe. If you're not protecting your workers, your company really doesn't mean much to anybody around. So your people are your most important asset on the job site. And if you can't keep them safe, then you're not going to make a profit. You're not going to carry on that legacy of your company, and you're not really going to perform the quality work that the owner or whoever you're working for desires. So protecting your people is really important. I've seen countless times throughout the years where maybe employers haven't really looked at their employees as something they need to protect, but it's important for them to do just because of the value that taking care of your employees is going to bring back on the company. So the second thing that's really important to this, and I'll write on the board so you can see, is the company reputation. I'll write it right here. So it's really important to understand that these two things are related. So if you're taking care of the people in your company, your reputation is going to follow. So no matter if it's the work that you're putting out or whatever it may be, it's important to remember that you're always leaving a legacy behind. So your company is it's going to leave a reputation behind, whether it's good or bad. And by taking care of your people and implementing safety on your job sites, it's going to make sure that the reputation of your company is rock solid where it needs to be. The third thing is insurance costs and recordables. So insurance is one of the biggest things on commercial job sites. And when an employee gets seriously hurt, you have to take them to the hospital or whatever. That gets recorded in the safety and company safety policy and records. So you really want to cut down on those. And with those recordables, the insurance companies look at those, and it really determines your premiums for the month. And if you have multiple recordables, it's just going to drive that cost through the roof.
All right, hey guys, so I'm here to talk about the top 6 injuries that you'll likely find on a job site, and we're here to try to prevent that. So number 1, and this might not come to a shock to you, is falls. I'm not talking about the season. I'm talking about not being prepared and not wearing proper equipment. A lot of times, your safety harnesses are required over 10 feet. So you really need to make sure you're wearing your harnesses whenever you're in an elevated situation that's above 10 feet or more. All right, number 2 is slips and trips. Now it kind of seems silly how somebody could, hurt themselves from slipping, but it happens more often than you think. It actually happened to myself about 2 months ago. I rolled my ankle, and what I could have prevented myself, or how I could have prevented that, was A, being more aware of my environment. The stairs that I was walking down were slick. I wasn't paying attention, and I didn't have the proper shoes on. I had some really, really slick shoes on. They didn't have a lot of grip on them. So those are two things that you can do to help prevent slips and trips. Number 3 is electrocution. So electrocution is a big deal, and you want to make sure anytime you're on a job site, you locate all the utility lines that are underground and more importantly above ground, because a lot of times excavators will hit these electric lines. And I've seen it happen. It's very easy to do. It just takes one moment of lapse in the operator's mind to forget that a line is there, and it can seriously hurt you and kill you. Alright, and number 4 is being struck by objects. So this is somewhat self-explanatory. You'll find a lot of times on job sites, there's a lot of moving parts. Maybe a crane operator isn't really paying attention, or more than likely a laborer isn't paying attention, and they can get struck by moving objects up in the air or even on the ground. Even small pieces of machinery like a compactor, you can get hit by that. So it's really good just to be aware of your surroundings. And our number 5 is being crushed. So this kind of goes hand in hand with number 4. It's really easy to get yourself caught in a sticky situation around a lot of big equipment, especially on heavy civil jobs. There's always a lot of big equipment around, so it's good to just keep your eyes open and your head up at all times. Hey guys, it's Mitch again. I'm here to talk to you about the proper PPE you need to wear on the job site. And as you noticed, I've got my high-vis vest on. You'll always want to wear this on the job site. You know, you want to be visible to all the workers, all the operators, and all the the motorists driving by too, just in case. Other than the high-vis vest, you also want to wear a hard hat to prevent getting killed from falling objects. And next, we've got our safety glasses. Always want to wear these out on the job site. There's always a chance of something getting in your eye, possibly making you go blind, or just scratching your cornea. So it's always a good idea to wear your glasses. Next, if you're ever getting hands-on out in the field, it's a good idea to always wear gloves, because finger injuries happen way more often than you would think. So wearing the proper gloves can help protect your hands, and yeah. And last but not least, it's always a good idea to wear sunscreen, because skin cancer is a thing, and you don't want that. So make sure you apply a couple times a day to protect you from the sun.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit about OSHA and why they're there. OSHA was formed back in the early 1900s, and they put a set of rules and regulations in place for construction companies and the industrial industry to help set those guidelines for safe practices inside the workplace. OSHA, has been around for quite some time, and throughout the years they've kind of modified their programs and their regulations to help form them to the companies that they need to be a part of. So it's really important to have OSHA there and have them a part of your job site.
So we're going to wrap things up, guys. We'd just like to go over a few ways to prevent job site injuries. Number 1, being self-aware. It's very important to always know your surroundings, know who's working around you, with what equipment, and most importantly, just keeping your head up. Number 2 is having proper training. A lot of companies don't focus enough on training when it comes to their safety plan, and that can really affect their production and their overall profit on each job. And number 3 is communication. Communication is key on a job site. Knowing who's going to be on the job, what type of equipment, communication between the laborers and the superintendent, knowing where they need to be, what places are safe to work, what places are not safe to work, and overall just having one main line of communication.
Yeah, those are really good points. So the last 3 I'm going to go over. Number 1 is documentation. So with everything that you do, any safety accidents or anything, you want to document those things. Not only with accidents, but the training that you go through. So if you have toolbox talks or anything, at the start of the day to set that premises for what you need to happen that day, document that stuff, especially the training. The second thing is proper equipment. So to make sure your workers have, like Mitch said, proper PPE. So make sure they have their high vis, their hard hats, and whatever else they need. And not only that, but proper equipment for the job. So if you're using the wrong type of heavy excavator for something that you don't need to use that for, it's probably gonna, have that margin in there to have a safety, violation or accident. The sixth thing is supervision. So with every job site, you need to make sure that somebody is watching over the employees, whether it's the superintendent, the foreman, or whoever that may be. You need to have someone making sure that the job site is a safe place to be, and that's somewhere where your employees can have a safe environment to work in and get the job done that you need them to have done.
So we want to say thank you for watching the video today. We hope you learned something. And if you would, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments.